Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the finale of The Last of Us for Season 1, Episode 9, Look for the Light. So this show, we've seen that Joe and Ellie, this pair connected through the harshness of the world that they live in are forced to endure all these circumstances that we've seen throughout all these episodes in this post-pandemic America. In episode 9, we get a flashback to a pregnant Anna who places her trust in long life friend. Later, Joel and Ellie, near the end of their journey. This is directed by Ali Abbasi, written by Neil Druckmann, creator of the game, and Craig Mason, who you may have seen some of the shows like Chernobyl and HBO, starring Pedro Pascal, Joe Miller, Bella Ramsey as Ellie Williams, and also you may see some fun cameos as well throughout this episode. I won't get too much into spoilers, but I will give you a warning once we get there. Episode 9, The Last of Us, is a faithful adaptation to the game that captures the essence of those characters across their journey. I think the attention to detail in the visual and audio design is super impressive, creating an immersive and engaging experience for both fans of the game and newcomers to the series like myself. I'm familiar to the game because my brothers played the game. He recently replayed the first game as they re-released it, like remastered and everything. So he's always told me about that, how good this game is, and leading up to all this, we were both pretty excited. So even though I already kind of knew what would happen all the way towards the end, I think the journey throughout these 9 episodes have been really worth it. Um, there's an action scene in this episode that is one of the standout moments of the season. It just showcases the intense and brutal combat of the series. And it's very well choreographed. It's very well shot, just expertly crafted. It creates a sense of tension, urgency, and it just really kept me watching on the edge of my seat as all that stuff was going on. And like I said, this is all mentioning that I already know how this ends, right? Um, However, I think what truly sets apart this episode is just the ambiguous morality of kind of the final moments of the show. And if you've played the games, if you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So without giving any spoilers, this episode just presents a complex moral dilemma that forces the viewer to kind of question even your own values and beliefs. And I think you've seen throughout this whole past week, because I'm shooting this a week after the episode aired. Uh, just and even since the beginning of the game, like since the game came out in 2013, people are still arguing about this decision. So I think it's very powerful. It's a very great choice. So yeah, the writing and performances in this episode and in the series overall have been exceptional. The sets are just lush and beautiful and really immersive in this world that they've set up. And then the series just has excelled at conveying the emotional weight of everything that the characters have been going through and all the decisions that they make and how that affects themselves and the worlds around them. So, yeah, I had a really good time with this series. I love season 1. I will probably rewatch it very soon. I've listened to the podcast. I've seen the after credit things that they have on HBO Max. And yeah, just a big fan of the games. I don't think that I'll play the game because I'm just not a gamer person per se. But overall, I am very excited about how this season turned out to be. So I will get into a little bit of spoilers now. If you haven't seen the show or the season or play the game, feel free to get out of here and come back once you've seen everything. But yeah, and I'm not gonna give you the scene I was talking about earlier in the review was the hospital scene where Joel kind of just takes out everyone, right? It's really fun because not only do you get a really cool action sequence, but you also get like this almost video game style type of motion, um, which is really interesting. But the thing that really made this episode is not so much the decision that Joel made, because going into that, we already kind of knew. If you play the game, if you just follow this series overall, you knew what was going to happen. But it's more of what happens afterwards to the characters of both Joe and Ellie, right? How this is affecting the relationship going forward. Does Ellie really believe Joel? and even if she doesn't, she's kind of willing to live with that. So, and of course, everybody has all their theories because The Last of Us 2 is a thing that people know about. So I won't get into any of that stuff. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that hasn't played the games. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited about the future of the series. Um, there is a comic that came out about some of the DLC content of Ellie and Riley being in the mall, which I'll probably go read because I love to see how an adaptation in a different medium can look and can be. And yeah, anything else that comes out for The Last of Us, I do hope that they expand this world, maybe dig into some comics or some animated shorts or media or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Because one of the things that I enjoyed the most about this series throughout the first few episodes was all the world building they were doing in the cold opens. When we have the doctors explaining kind of the whole concept of how this pandemic could come to happen in the 60s, the initial steps of the pandemic being tracked, and the grim reality of that world and kind of what happened. And then also, of course, the first episode really showing us everything that Joel went through. Uh, so I love to see more about Tommy. I think too his journey is probably very interesting. So yeah, there's so much left to explore, and as well as the next game, which I feel is going to be a little bit more difficult to adapt because it's not a straightforward narrative like the first game is. So that'll be interesting to see. So, but yeah, let me know what you thought about episode 9 and the season overall of The Last of Us. Um, and thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.